We want to welcome Stuart Rosenfeld, the president of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society.
Good evening. I want to welcome you to the 2019 Loeb Sikora Humanitarian Award Program. A big thank you goes out to board members Ellen Ungerman and Lynn Garter for their hard work to make this event possible. There you go. Great job, ladies. I also want to give a big thank you to our new lead sponsor, Dallas Jewish Funerals, for all your generous support. Finally, thank you to all of you out there in the audience whose sponsorships and memberships are so important to the ongoing operation of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society. I want to take a moment to recognize the Dallas Jewish Historical Society staff. Our archivist, Jessica Schneider, who has a master's degree in museum studies, manages our 15,000-item climate-controlled archive on the first floor of the JCC, as well as our digital repository of searchable archives and oral histories. Our fabulous office manager, Jenny Clays, recently won a Federation Award for her dedication and longevity at the Society. And special thanks to Deborah Polsky, our executive director, whose tireless efforts allow the Dallas Jewish Historical Society to thrive and grow, hosting events like this today, our lecture series, genealogy and preservation workshops, and unique collection of oral histories from your friends and families. Have you given your oral history today? Take a look inside, and let's take a look at the video.
The Historical Society preserves records and oral histories and photographs of the Dallas Jewish community so that they're there for future generations of researchers and families to take a look at.
As I get older and I really appreciate the past more, I want more people to know the joys and the sadnesses that we have gone through as people, as a Jewish family.
We have an incredible history in Dallas, from the temples and synagogues here in town, the changes over the years, the buildings that have grown, the campuses that have expanded. We have a rich history with our Jewish community in terms of families that have been so incredibly supportive over the years, and leaders of those families aren't going to be here forever. And so I think it's so important to have that history.
My grandmother lived on Forest Avenue in South Dallas. Those are the memories, and now as the world is changing with more social media, it's being documented now. And I like that idea, that the kids can go back and look and say, gee, that was a part of our history.
I think the future generations need to see what has gone on in the community and what people have done to make Dallas a great place to be as a Jewish person.
It's critical to keep it all alive and to continue on for generations to come.
Please welcome to the stage Elizabeth Weinstein.
Good evening. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Elizabeth Weinstein, and I'm a fifth-generation Dallas Jew. While I only started getting involved in the Dallas Jewish Historical Society a few years ago, its mission to preserve local Jewish history is one that I've long been familiar with. I've grown up with my mom putting together our family's genealogy, as she is always uncovering new tidbits of information about our history, which is now traced back to the 1800s. And with my grandparents and great-grandparents just a few miles away, I always enjoyed hearing their numerous stories from the past. I've spent a lot of time learning about where I've come from and my family's roots. However, it wasn't until I had my first interaction with the Dallas Jewish Historical Society that I began to really see their impact on my personal life and our community. Several of my family members have participated in the Oral History Project, and it was through this that I initially became aware of and involved in the Dallas Jewish Historical Society by editing videos for the different events. Culling through the countless hours of footage, I gained a new perspective of the Jewish community in Dallas and the different histories that make our community so unique. Not only did I uncover information about my Dallas Jewish history, but even my own family's past. In my grandpa's oral history, I discovered stories that I had never heard of or would have even thought to ask about. Without the work of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, I may have never known about certain parts of my past that are so special to me now. I have grown up learning and seeing firsthand the importance of sharing our community's stories both today and with future generations. Through the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, I've gained a stronger connection to my family and the local community. It is for this reason that I am honored to be here this evening in support of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society's work. It is an organization that I think is extremely important, especially for my generation, as we become leaders and continue to grow the Dallas Jewish community. Thanks.
We'd like to welcome our past president, Mark Shore.
Before I begin my remarks, I would like to give a shout out to the greatest softball manager in Temple Shalom history and coach of the 2004 Championship Pirates, Bob Weinfeld. Thank you. Zachor, memory. The word Zachor is mentioned over 200 times in the Torah. The Jewish people are actually commanded to remember and to honor our past. From the Exodus to the giving of the Ten Commandments, from Masada to the establishment of the State of Israel, we remember. And of course, today, we commemorate the Shoah and pledge never again. Our sages and our ancestors recognized that if we do not know who we were, we will not know who we are, and our futures will hang in the balance. We also remember our heroes and leaders, from Abraham to Moses, from Herzl to Rabin. We remember and we honor them. But Jewish history is not relegated solely to the distant past or distant lands. We have created our own Jewish history right here in these prairie lands of Texas where we reside, where a young Jewish woman grew up in the West Texas town of Sweetwater, Texas, to find her place in Dallas. And Loeb Sikora grew into a woman of the utmost courage, grace, and humility, a natural leader. She influenced countless of us to get involved in humanitarian causes, including fighting homelessness and hunger, advocating for Russian Jewry, supporting Israel, and promoting women's rights through her own accomplishment as the first woman president of the Jewish Federation of Greater Dallas. Taken too soon at the age of 63 in 2001, it was an easy decision for the Dallas Jewish Historical Society to create the Ann Loeb Sikora Humanitarian Award in 2002. We are here today to continue the tradition of bestowing this marvelous award to our deserving honorees, our sisters in philanthropy, Melissa, Brenda, Susan, and Karen. We encourage you to be part of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society by joining as a member as we fulfill our vision to connect our present and future generations to Jewish Dallas. We are documenting our lives today so that one day in the future, Jewish Dallasites will know from where they came. Thank you, and enjoy the program.
Thank you. We'd like to welcome now to the stage Zane Bellier of Dallas Jewish Funerals, our presenting sponsor that we appreciate very, very much.
Thank you. Good evening. I would also like to give a shout out to Bob Weinfeld and the 2010 Temple Shalom softball champions. Yes. My name is Zane Bellier. I am the owner of Dallas Jewish Funerals. It is an honor for me to be the presenting sponsor, as well as an honor for me to be a member of this amazing Jewish community. It is also my pleasure, let Let me turn the page here. It was also my pleasure to announce the following honorees: Melissa Ackerman, Brenda Bliss, Susan Bendalin, and Karen Weinreb.
We grew up in a Reformed Jewish home, and our parents were very involved in the founding of Temple Shalom, and we went to all kinds of activities related to Temple.
A wonderful feeling to know that we were accomplishing a lot and that they were able to observe Jean and myself being so involved.
They have one moral thread that runs through their lives, and it's a sympathy and an empathy for the people they care about and that they love, and that extends to the general Dallas community.
Seeing my parents involved and knowing that that was important to give back and to give to the community, whether it's physically or monetarily, has been very helpful for me to see.
The last 12, 13 years I've been involved in HIGH, and I'm on the Special Needs Partnership of Jewish Family Service now.
I'm on the Jewish Family Service Board and love what I'm doing with that, and also the Special Needs Partnership, because that kind of combines what I do for my career and what I want to do for the Jewish community.
Hopefully, if they see that, then they'll want to do that and feel like that's important to them, to be responsible and to help and to be involved. They'll continue to grow and develop and become Jewish leaders on their own.
Mazel tov to both Melissa and Brenda. Their mother and I are so very proud of them and all their accomplishments and all the wonderful things they do with and for us, and just wish all the best things for them as they continue to do all these wonderful things and be such wonderful girls and mothers.
And make our lives worthful, make us feel important because we've been a part of what they are. And I just love you both so much.
So honored,
Very
and
honored.
moved, and flattered, and surprised.
For me, it makes me want to do more in the community. I feel very honored that I am being honored, and I would love to continue to get involved in other organizations, including the Historical Society.
Well, I knew Aunt Sikora, and so it's even more meaningful to receive an award that has her name on it.
We are among some incredible people that have been honored with this award, so I especially feel honored, and also congratulate Susan and Karen as our co-honorees. It's been really wonderful to be a part.
First, we'd like to thank the Dallas Jewish Historical Society for recognizing and honoring those four remarkable women. We know how much time and energy it takes to have an event like this, and we are grateful to be a part of it. For this joy, we thank each of you.
When Jean and I sat down to try to figure out what to say about our daughters, the only thing we could agree on was we couldn't do it justice in the allotted amount of time. In addition to what you have read about them or know firsthand, by working or playing with them in their various activities, we thought we would reflect more on their earlier lives.
On the surface, they often seem to be two different worlds, but each is dedicated to successfully budgeting their time between family, home, business, and community obligations. Melissa and Brenda approached their religion in different ways.
Melissa enjoyed religious school, temple youth activities, working at Green Camp, well into college. Brenda, on the other hand, Brenda, on the other hand, preferred worshiping from afar. Going to services in religious school was not her ideal way to spend her weekend. Luckily, she hung in there until she discovered BBYO. Both now have a very strong feeling for their faith, which is reflected in their homes. They both approach their challenges with a sense of caring and respect. That is evident in each of their loving families.
As we age, we know that we will be just one more pull on their time and energy. But we feel very secure in that they have and will deal with whatever the family situations are in the same way, together with love and caring.
This is a little off the cuff, but I know that Jean will agree with me that as the film showed, we are so very proud of them and have been since they were little kids. They've given us so much joy and pleasure. We have a great time when we're together, reminiscing and laughing and talking about my idiosyncrasies. But I just couldn't be prouder of them. They're great kids and love them to death.
Thank you. Oh, thank you guys. How beautiful. And on behalf of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, we present to them the Loeb Sikora Humanitarian Awards. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Why don't you get a picture, y'all?
Our dad came in from Sherman. He drove in every Sunday to go to Sunday school at Temple Emmanuel.
We just wanted to have a nice, comfortable Jewish family that participated in as many things as they could participate in.
They went to confirmation, Sunday school. We lit the candles on Friday night.
For all of us, we were just surrounded, honestly, by Jewish friends and extended family and family in Houston that we would go to.
It was just instilled in us in a very early age.
It was important to our family that we continue Jewish traditions with our spouses and with our children. I was at Federation, and then I was at Akiva, and I had kids at Levine, and we belonged to Temple Emmanuel, and so we were sort of all over the map in the Jewish community. I spent so many years of my professional career in Jewish communal service, and I worked with incredible people in the organization, and I felt so fortunate to work with all the volunteers I did. I met so many incredible people, so passionate about so many causes, and they inspired me all the time.
I'm so proud of the kids. They have been involved in everything.
Susan and I both went on a JWRP trip to Israel. Mine was almost a year ago, and yours was
About 3 years ago.
about 3 years ago. So it was the most incredible experience. Well, we hope that they follow in our footsteps, and I think they will.
Yeah, I think we've modeled for our kids growing up how important it is to be involved in the community. They've 100% seen us sponsoring events or, making gifts to organizations or just being a hands-on volunteer, and I've certainly recruited them over the years.
It was just what we did, and it just felt right, and it was just who we were.
Susan and Karen, we are so very, very proud of you. What an honor to be honored like this. And I hope you keep doing what you're doing. I hope your children follow in your footsteps. You've certainly led the way for them.
I just want to thank the Dallas Jewish Historical Society for this awesome and amazing honor. And also, for me, anything I can do with my sister, I'm in.
And I do anything my sister tells me to do.
And now I'd like to welcome to the stage Susan and Karen and their brother Larry and Martin and Roslyn.
not speaking.
You should have had Mom talk tonight. First of all, Melissa and Brenda and Susan and Karen, you four ladies really brought out a great crowd tonight, and you should be very proud of yourself for a great cause. Thank you. And Bob, I took the time limitations seriously, unlike the Weinfeld family. But anyway, when Karen and Susan first told me they were being honored by the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, I had two initial thoughts. The first was, wow, what an honor. The second thought was, is Nordstrom somehow involved in this event? But seriously, my two sisters are being honored tonight, and it's a real privilege for me to introduce them. I'm a lucky brother to have two great sisters. Being the oldest sibling, I've known them literally my entire life. Besides obviously growing up together, all three of us graduated from UT, Hookham. We all live within a few miles of each other, and our kids all attended the same school. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we all grew up at Temple Emmanuel, and we all became members here after we came back from college. All this overlap in our lives is not a coincidence. We genuinely love each other and enjoy each other's company. We are members of a large and close extended family that is very important to us, headed up by the matriarch, Shosid. As everyone who knows these fine ladies can attest, Karen and Susan are deserving recipients of this honor. They have given tirelessly to their immediate family, their extended family, and the Dallas community, Jewish and otherwise. As one of their many causes, I can testify that they do good work. Congratulations, sisters. I love you.
And now I'd like to present, I'm so happy to present on behalf of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, your awards. Oh, this one, I don't know, just take it. One might be good. It has your name. There you go. Mazel tov. Congratulations. Get over here a little bit.
Good evening, and thank you all for being here tonight. We made a choice together not to bore you with 4 speeches, and I won the opportunity to be speaking for the 4 of us. It may be because I'm the eldest. Brenda, Karen, Susan, and I would like to thank the Dallas Jewish Historical Society from the bottom of our hearts for the beautiful honor you have bestowed upon us tonight. We are both humbled and proud to accept the Loeb Sikora Humanitarian Award, named for an outstanding leader and wonderful role model whose commitment to public service and the Jewish community was memorable. Anne made an impact on so many who had the pleasure of knowing and working with her, and I count myself among the lucky ones. We would sincerely like to thank the chairs of tonight's program, Linda Garner and Ellen Ungerman and their committee for their hard work and determination to ensure the success of this evening. You were both outstanding to work with, and it has been such a pleasure for all of us. Thank you to Deborah Polsky, Jenny Clays, and the entire staff for everything you have done. You had 4 of us to work with, and that is in itself a challenge. Your staff is excellent, and you have made us all feel so special. Thank you to our friends, family, and Jewish Historical Society sponsors for your support of this wonderful agency and the important work they have done and continue to do. Brenda, Karen, Susan, and I are so lucky to come from families who not only live close to each other, but are close to each other. We enjoy being together as a family and realize that is not always the case. We are so happy that they are able to be here with us tonight and participate in this lovely honor. Our wonderful parents instilled us with the understanding of the importance of giving back to the community. Giving money is very important, but not the only thing that matters. Giving of your time and energy to make the community a better place is an honorable and important thing to do. By following their example, we can try to make the world a place where our children can grow up and feel safe to know and express their Jewish identity and be involved. There is so much that needs to be done today more than ever, and we will continue to follow the example of Loeb Sikora and be involved in Tikkun Olam, repairing of the world. Again, Dallas Jewish Historical Society, thank you so very much for this meaningful honor you have given to us, the Shosid and Weinfeld sisters. Thank you.
Good job. Okay, so now it's my turn. I was in some deep thought about what is a memory. And I didn't want to look it up on the internet. I didn't want to look at it in the dictionary. I wanted it to come from my heart. And I realized that a memory is something that's essential in all of our lives. Why? Because without memory of the past, we can't operate in the present or even think about the future. We wouldn't be able to remember, at least I wouldn't. And I find as I look back on life that the moments that stand out in our lives are the moments we share with family and friends, just like this room is full of tonight. I want my children and grandchildren to appreciate my past and learn about their ancestors through photos, written and audible materials that document our ancestors. I reflect a lot of days on adventures that are now but a memory. And it kind of makes me sad sometimes, and sometimes it makes me really, really happy. But these memories are the ones that we treasure forever and want to share with those that come after us. This, my friends, is the mission of the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, keeping the Dallas Jewish community, its families and landmarks alive for many, many, many years to come. The gratitude that I feel to the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, who has done so much to assure me, as well as countless others, that they will hopefully continue to be there to preserve our history. It's really comforting to me. But, as you well know, it takes dollars for staff, supplies, programming to keep these projects funded. Tonight is our only fundraiser for the year, and we would like to reach our goal so that we may continue these important and remarkable projects. So attached to your program or on the table or in the chair, wherever it landed up, is a white envelope. And please feel free to help us sustain these precious memories. There will be volunteers with baskets at the exits to collect envelopes. And I want to personally thank each and every one of you for coming tonight and celebrating these 4 women who are all 4 personal friends of mine that are remarkable in our community. And thank you so much for coming. And now, I want to thank George. Where are you?
Where's George?
Where is George? I know he didn't scoot out.
He's here. There he is, right there.
Where are you? Okay, George Tobolowski. I bought a lot of raffle tickets because I really, really want this sculpture. But I want you to know George has so graciously done this beautiful sculpture for us that's right here over on the table. And now we are, I can't feel my name, so anyway, the lucky winner will be May Siebel.
Okay.
Where's May? Congratulations to May. May it have a happy home in your house. Okay.
On behalf of Linda and I, the Dallas Jewish Historical Society, I want to thank these 4 fabulous women who are so deserving of an honor. Their commitment to our community, their commitment to the Jewish community is remarkable. It's something that I am proud to even know them and be associated with them. And we want to thank every single person in this room so much for coming. Have a fabulous night.